Fellas, how do Chinese people feel about black people? Have you ever asked yourself a question? How do Chinese people in general really feel about black people? Where do they put us? Okay, I think there are very interesting accounts on the internet. And as I was browsing, trying to find something interesting, somebody sent me something very, very interesting. It's basically an account of a young lady, young black girl in a car that looked like Uber. I'm not sure whether Chinese people use Uber, but it looked like it was in China because she spoke Mandarin with the driver. The driver was a Chinese man, speaking to a client in a car. And the Chinese man seemed to be wanting to tell the truth. He asked her whether she wanted to know the truth on how Chinese people feel about black people. And he told her, listen, we don't intermingle with you. We don't marry you. We're not friends with you because we feel like we, yellow people, if we mix with black people, we have black kids. And black kids generally are not very intelligent in school. So it's going to be us watering down on the good things that we have to be with you. So in other words, black people are stupid. Naturally, they don't learn, they don't grow. And for a Chinese person, mingling or marrying or getting an account with a black person, it's a waste. Listen to this.
因为我们中国人说你们这个黑颜色的不生了小孩是黑色，这一点顾虑也是很大的。因为我们是黄颜色，万一生了孩子是黑色，是不是在学校里都说这？
He mentioned the word filtering. We don't want to be filtering our Chinese into making black babies. It's like black is filtering Chinese genes. Wow, let's go.
小黑孩在学校里学习都不好学，真的。
不好学。
有很多人吧，他都是喜欢白色的，白色的生了小孩子是白的。你看我们这里人都是黄颜色的多，生了皮肤白的人都喜欢白色的小孩。
She looks disappointed.
小孩子，
我们这边一句古话就这样说的：“一白遮三丑。”明白这句话的意思吧？
不太明白。
就是这个意思，就是说人白了之后，就显得格外的漂亮。
So this is very interesting because this is very straightforward. And first of all, I think it's good that it comes straight from the lion's mouth, if we may say it that way, because then this exposes a lot of things. Because usually we find a lot of people trying to defend Chinese and how they feel about black people, and usually they say it's because it's a different culture. They've never seen a black man. We've seen old videos of Chinese people trying to touch black people's hair. Asking them questions along the lines of, if you were put in the rain, would you lose your color? Trying to rub on the skin to see if the color will come out. Many things like that we see, and many people say it's because of ignorance and stuff like that. Well, I think the driver has been very clear. He said black people are not smart. Black kids don't do good in school, and we don't want to be filtering our Chinese because we are yellow people. We want clear. We want white. The whiter people are, the smarter they are. And that's a very interesting question. Chinese people believe the whiter people are, the smarter they are. The darker they get, the more stupid they get, or the stupider if you prefer. Is he telling lies? Question mark. And I think we need to look into this because it's very interesting. Now, many people defend Chinese saying, well, they don't understand and blah, 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 blah. Some people also say Chinese are racist. Now, my question to you is this ignorance or racism? Because do Chinese people feel superior to black people? It's clear. You just need to go to an African country and see how Chinese people treat Africans. They beat them up. Yes, if a black person works for Chinese, in many cases you will see, we've seen videos. So the question is, would you beat up somebody you respect? I'm not sure about that. We've seen in Zambia where Chinese held black people hostage during COVID, saying to them, you cannot return to your families. You cannot return to your families. You need to stay at work for months. Don't return to your family because we don't want you to bring COVID at work. Forgetting that COVID came from them, from China at least, okay? And there was a mayor from, I believe, Zambia, the capital, that was very upset about that. He went to this office and asked the Chinese responsible to free these men, to allow them to go see their families. How can you hold these people hostage in this place?
Your workers have called me that you don't allow them to go home. So I want to find out why you kept them for 2 weeks. And we've seen where they sleep. Mm-hmm. Why is that so? Why don't you allow them to knock off?
No, they are no, we're not allow them to go home because the corona issue.
The corona issue.
It makes no sense. Where did COVID come from? He was asking the Chinese man. I mean, do you do that to somebody you respect? Would a Chinese do that to a European man? Let's say, look, they are Chinese companies in Europe, right? Would they do such thing to European men? Absolutely not. I think it's interesting, as much as this looks like racism, to look into ourselves as well. I mean, let's watch the next video first so we can hear, okay? From an Asian perspective. Let's listen.
Asian community is literally so anti-black, and it literally fucking pisses me off. Like, we are literally so uneducated, uninformed, just misinformed, everything about the black community, and it pisses me off. And like, it just boggles my mind how a lot of Asians see black people as beneath them. I shit you not, I literally saw someone on my story and I literally was so gagged. Like, I was like, are you serious right now? And I sent him a message, ask him if he's being serious about this. This guy is Bhutanese. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but like, I guess he got like some kind of spray tan or whatever because he's doing some kind of stupid movie shoot or whatever. Roy posts on his story and says, because his skin is like 10 shades darker or something, he said, "Can I say the N-word now?" with a ninja emoji next to it. I slid up so fucking...
That's interesting, you know, an Asian woman saying that they perceive black people as inferior. Let's listen to the next video, okay? Let's go. Okay. This is a video showing a Chinese child and an African child. An African child is dancing. And the Chinese child is working. So what you see here is African kids are dancing. They're dancing. They're dancing. While the Chinese kid is learning how to build things together. You know, getting his brain ready for the real world. Getting his brain ready for the fight of survival. Getting his brain ready for domination. In the meantime, what is the black kid doing? Dancing. And I know some people may say, well, the Chinese kid is at school, and well, the child that's black in skin is also at school. Or you may say maybe he's at break time. Well, when he gets in school for real, what does he learn? Besides math, if not math, maybe geography. Most of the things black kids learn in school are not practically usable in real life. It is not usable because in most cases, no black parent wants their child to learn how to fix bricks or I don't know, put woods together or do no, they don't. They want you to be in a computer office, in a climatized computer office. Nobody learns the basics, the things that people actually need in the future, in the real life. And it's very sad because we encourage that. We encourage our kids to dance because we call that being happy. We encourage our kids to pray, but we don't encourage them to learn beyond what they learn in school. This is crazy. Now, how can a Chinese person respect black people if black people do not produce anything at all? Even matches for cigarettes need to be imported from other countries. Your shirt, your pants, your socks, your toothpaste, everything, your tampon for women have to come from another country. How will they respect you? How will they respect you? I mean, you want to be considered and respected. You know, you don't want to be perceived inferior. What do you produce not to be considered inferior? I'm just asking a question. I mean, for you to not be inferior, you must be at least equal. Now, are you just by default equal? I don't know. When you pick two dogs, one is clearly smarter, looking, watching, aware of what's happening, and the other dog is just wink, 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 wink. Which one do you pick? Do you consider them equal? Or you say, no, this one is the one, the white dog is the one I want because it's clearly aware of what's happening. It's going to protect us against thieves and people that are, is going to be aware of what's happening. This other dog just looks stupid and eats from anybody. I mean, I know we're not dogs, but I'm just giving you a simple example. Let's go to the next video. So in this video, you see a Chinese man speaking to a black man. The black man, I believe, is from the Congo, DRC. They went to the Congo to repair, I think, the railway for the train. And it was just very difficult because the infrastructure was really out of hand. And I believe the Chinese came to Africa, especially to Congo, to do another project. But the railroad was really, really out of hand. And he was telling the black man, like, what have you learned after colonization? You were colonized, right? By the Belgians after they left you. You didn't keep anything? What have you done with the infrastructure they had built? Could you not even maintain it? Like, what kind of people are you? Instead of moving forward in life, you've actually moved backward. Let's watch.
你们受欧洲国家管理这么长时间，应该是学到了很多先进的管理经验。
哪有多少时间？没有多少时间了。我们炒那个要那个 国近期的。
50 years of independence a few weeks ago.
现在是50年，近期50年那个。
就是50年以前，你不是受他们
50年以前什么都好啊。
是啊，那个先进的影响，那个代代往传下来，越传越文明越发达了，怎么越来越倒退，越落后了？你看这么先进的铁路，我都1930几年就有电气化铁路，我这是中国啥时候才有电气化铁路的？你看矿区那个铁路，电气化的双轨铁路。
He says the technology you have on the railway, we didn't even have it in China. Okay, we didn't have it in China. It's 1930s technology. We didn't have it. You had it already, but you couldn't even maintain that. You couldn't build from that. Let's continue.
因为架得多好，你看现在顶上那个什么，哎呀，千疮百孔啊，破烂不堪啊。把原来留下的东西根本没有更加的爱护保护去留。
He says it will take the generations to build things right. Look at the black man. Look at his face. The man is disappointed in not just himself but his community. Like really, how do you call this racism?
他是
If I have money, I drink only. Listen to the child.
今人有酒今人醉，明人没酒喝凉水，就这样子。
Very, very sad. How do you blame somebody like this if he thinks he's superior to you? I'm just asking. How do you call it racism and stuff like that? Is it still racism? Well, it sounds like racism. Would you blame him for thinking that he's superior? I don't know about that. Let's move to the next video.
Africa after decolonization was more or less the forgotten continent. Western countries did not want to engage it for whatever reason. China went in. China treated every African country as brother and sister, and China really invested hugely in Africa. Now, many other countries are talking about engaging with Africa, including the United States, many European countries, India, for example. The more the better, because Africa should not be a monopoly for any other country, not for China, not for anyone else. Africa is for the African people.
Well, Chinese know exactly how to speak to Africans, make you feel like you have a choice, okay? We're not here to colonize you. We're not here to do what the white people did to you, okay? And we want to give you a choice. But in the meantime, are you actually learning from the Chinese or they're utilizing you? Let's watch the last video. Let's go.
Before you become a primary teacher, think of this.
Where is the teacher? The teacher is under the table. Where is the teacher? The teacher is under the table.
The teacher is under the table. Whilst the teachers in China are teaching Chinese kids how to actually practically do things, the teacher in Africa is teaching kids. Where is the teacher? The teacher is under the table. Put yourself in a Chinese man's shoe. No. Just imagine you were born Chinese and you're looking into Africans. What would you think? Let's go.
Where is the teacher?
The teacher is on top of the table.
Where is the teacher?
The teacher is.
Whose wife is this?
Where is the teacher?
The teacher is behind the table.
This has to stop. Okay, this really has to stop. That's what it is, fellas. The question remains the same. In the beginning of the video, we watched a young girl being explained to by a Chinese driver, saying to him that the reason why we don't mingle with you, we don't mix with you, is because we don't want to filter ourselves down to what you are. Number one, was he being racist? Number two, was he telling the truth? Number three, was he wrong for telling what he said? If you watch this video. God bless.